Hey guys, it's Masie,
And Joseph.
and we are here today to talk with y'all about everything going on in the sports world. So first off, Joseph, you want to give us a little bit of update what's going on with Mr. Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson, yes. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. were slated to fight in September. But both of them got to the table in the negotiating table and decided that more revenue would come in if they postponed the fight. So they're looking at a November the 28th showdown between two boxing legends. I cannot wait to watch these dudes fight. These guys are two of my favorite fighters of all time. Roy Jones won many championships in multiple different weight classes. He's always been considered like a well-rounded fighter, one of the pound-for-pound best. And Mike Tyson, he's Mike Tyson. It's like, how can you not be excited to see Mike Tyson at 70 years old? It doesn't matter how old Mike Tyson is.
And what is he, like 54 now?
Right,
Yeah.
and he's still buffed and he's ready to come in and
Yep.
try to knock Roy Jones through the ropes. So I am so eager to see Mike Tyson and Roy Jones fight. This is going to be an incredible event.
I think it'll definitely be a good comeback for Mike,
Right.
and definitely an event you will not want to miss.
Do not miss this fight. It's
So
going to be a great fight.
yeah, hopefully we can get some more information on the exact time it's going to start,
Right.
pay-per-view, all that stuff. But
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be
hopefully,
awesome.
yeah, hopefully it doesn't be pay-per-view. Like I hope that it's like a cable event so we all can enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that this might be a pay-per-view fight, seeing that these are two heavyweight names, two
Mhm.
icons of the sport. And by them coming back at this age, they have really garnered other individuals to think about coming back.
Mm.
Lennox Lewis said he's going to start training. Evander Holyfield, two other heavyweights that have won championships over the time. So I hope this spearheads other legends
Yeah.
to get back into the ring and come back because we need them in the sports. In boxing right now, there's a shortage of big stars in boxing. So this is most definitely a welcome back. And if Mike Tyson wins, he has hinted at the fact that he want to fight Deontay Wilder.
Oh my God.
This is
That would be
Listen,
wild.
this would be craziness of 2021. We
That
might be
would.
looking forward to a Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder showdown of the heavyweights. That'll be
I mean, Deontay Wilder would tower Mike, wouldn't he?
oh my God,
I can't
yes.
even imagine
We talking about maybe
seeing
five,
them.
8 to compared to six,
Yeah.
7. Yeah.
I just not gonna miss a whole foot on him. But
Right.
I feel like if anybody can do it, it's gonna be Mike Tyson.
If anybody can get in the ring and just beat you off name alone, Mike Tyson is most definitely one of them individuals.
It'll definitely be a fight that you will not want to miss.
We'll be there.
For sure. We'll be checking it out, giving our opinion on it.
Right.
All right, next let's move on to college football. I know there's a lot of speculation about what's going to happen with the season this
Right.
year. I think that the players are getting a little antsy, the coaches are getting antsy, the fans are getting antsy. So what information you have to give us?
College football in our city, as y'all know, is near and dear to our hearts. We love college football. Roll Tide. That's our thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's really paining me to see that college football is going through what it's going through, but it's not invincible compared to COVID. COVID is most definitely changing our way of life and our way of thinking, and sports is no different. The conferences are looking at doing interconference games, and they're looking at starting later in the year. Um, Recently, we had a Power Five school indicate that they're going to cancel their whole year. We'll talk about that later. But what is making the other conferences look at is maybe canceling the season for the fall altogether. So one thing that the players did, and I thought this was so incredible, the players got together on a video call, and not just any players, the heavyweight players, like the best players out of all the conferences. So you're talking about, um, you know, Tua younger brother was on the call. Trevor Lawrence was on the call. There was, Dylan Moses was on the call. There was just a lot of your college football elites made this call to say that there need to be changes. If we're going to play this season, there needs to be some things that we want as players. And some of those things that I highlight today was they looking at a player union. And that's something that, the players has always talked about having was representation when they go in front of the NCAA, somebody to speak for them. Also, if a player chooses not to play this season due to COVID, due to the fear of COVID, he shouldn't be penalized and lose a year on his
No.
eligibility. He should be able to come back next year with no problems, no issues. And I think that was a big thing for them to ask for. And I think the NCAA should give it to him. What you
For
think?
sure. Well, I mean, I think these players do so much for the teams. Yeah, you have a good coaching staff, but if you don't have good players, you don't have a good team.
Right.
So the players really do need someone to have their back and advocate for them, because I think a coach can do that only to such an extent, because they're not the actual players
True.
themselves.
True.
So I think having a players union would be great for them.
I think it would be incredible too. And let's talk about the elephant in the room on the 10 to 5 Bama time. But I think it's a big thing that there are billions of dollars made
Oh
every
yeah, for
year
sure.
in college football and
For
college
sure.
sports in general. Billions of dollars. So if these players want protection for their health because they have, incentives on going to the next level in their careers or whatnot, they should be able to get that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this uh, players association that they're looking to build will help them grow in the future, will help them be protected in the future. And I am so excited that they are using their forces finally and coming together in a united way to say we the players deserve these things, and I hope they get their demands met. So I'm
I do
excited.
too. I think that's good for them. I think it's worth a try for sure.
It is. Kudos to them. Guys.
Kudos. And I think we actually have a picture of some of the points that the players are wanting to make. So let me pull it up real quick. See where it's at. Oh, okay. 1 minute. Technical difficulties.
It happens in live TV.
Does happen on live TV. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we're gonna pull this up. Here it is. So this is some of the points that they were wanting to be heard.
Right.
Is they're wanting to play this football season. Establish a universal mandate health and safety procedure and protocol. Among all the conferences through the NCAA. Give players the opportunity to opt out and respect their decision, like you had said.
Right.
Guarantee eligibility whether a player chooses to play the season or not. And then he said, use our voice to establish open communication, trust between players and officials, ultimately creating a college football players association. And I think that's great. I think,
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I'm so excited. Over the years, players have talked about their likeness and just who they are being used and utilized on different platforms, and there have been billions of dollars made off their likeness, but they have never been able to coop none of that money. So this is an opportunity for them to stand up, fight for themselves, and it's not about money, it's about health. And I just most definitely agree with everything that these players are doing. And I'm so proud of them. Continue to use your voice and advocate for yourself. And those that are watching, this is a great opportunity for you all as well to understand if there's something that you want to be heard about, if there's something that you feel like is not right, use your voice and speak up to somebody and go out there and advocate for yourself and make change happen for yourself.
Exactly. So, you're your biggest advocate. So
true.
Gotta go out there and let the world hear your voice. All right. So kind of moving on to our next topic is gonna be how the NFL is gonna be impacted by college football possibly not playing this year.
Well, with college football not playing, that leaves a door open on Saturday nights. How do you feel avoid where millions of people is going to watch on Saturday nights? And the NFL is a league that do not mind putting their brand out there. They love Saturdays. In the season, the last couple games in the season every year is played on a couple Saturdays. They start the playoff on a Saturday. The NFL loves Saturday nights, and they already have a Monday night football game. They already have Thursday nights. They have Sundays. This is an opportunity to add another game on another day and it's just more money for the league, and it will provide more exposure in a time where we are lacking in entertainment. And if the NFL could be that entertainment, they're most definitely going to go out and become the lead and do that. So
yeah, and I think too for states like Alabama, we don't have a professional football team, so that's our Saturday.
That's a great point.
Watching college football, and if we don't have that, someone is going to fill that void with watching NFL. If they're not big, NFL watchers, they're still going to go and watch it. So it is going to help, I think, the company.
Great point. And it might be something they look forward in the future. So great point.
Got a little video too, courtesy of ESPN, talking about what some sportscasters think about this. I'm going to share that with y'all as well.
Okay.
There's a fog out there. Go through the commercial first.
And it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you.
Wouldn't be a video without commercials.
True. Wouldn't be ESPN.
But you won't forget.
Website with them.
Your way through that fog. The unknown. There's only one way. Sitting back, watching and observing events to see how they unfold. And of course, if college football does go away, you've heard all the chatter from all our analysts right there, there would be a window of opportunity for the NFL to adjust its schedule. And it could move games to Saturday nights. There might be networks that would want programming on Friday nights because of the lack of content that they currently have at this point in time. So everything would be wide open. The sports world essentially would stop in October. You have hockey coming to an end in early October, basketball mid-October, baseball late October as it's currently scheduled. You have the presidential election. And so once you get past those sports and the presidential election, there will be a window of time of about 2 months where there would be nothing else on the sports calendar if college football went away but the NFL. There are no fans in the stadiums. There are no plans for hotels for fans traveling from other cities to have to reserve hotels. The NFL very simply could just move games to Saturday night, to Friday night, Saturday afternoon, to whenever they wanted, completely control the sports calendar, which they would do anyway. But they might want to do it with prime time programming over multiple nights during the week. And so the NFL doesn't have to do anything right now but sit back and watch this all unfold. But I believe the real possibility exists that the NFL can shift its schedule around, move games to prime time in other slots, and it'll see now how college football handles this.
That is so fascinating to think about. It feels like a very real possibility.
Thank you, Chef D.
That was
Schefter with the ladies.
I think that was a good take. A little information there, kind of stuff that we already discussed, but good points were made.
Yeah, it's most definitely something that we have to look forward to or look out on. It's on the horizon, but like we said earlier, this is an amazing opportunity for the NFL. Shefty just talked about the sports world coming to an end in October. Between the end of October to December, nothing is out there but the NFL to control the landscape of sports. That would be amazing for them and fascinating for them, and most definitely probably like catapult them back to the top of the sports conversation in the United States.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Great deal.
That would be a great move for the NFL for sure.
Yeah.
So kind of continuing with our college football talk, we recently found out that the University of Connecticut, UConn, is canceling their football season, which is going to be big.
Right.
Having a big team go ahead and cancel like that, I think it kind of gets the ball rolling for other teams who are already kind of questioning, is it worth it to put in the money and put in the time to continue a program that even might get stopped midway through the season?
You're right, Mason. It's a great opportunity for other teams to see how this is going to play out. everybody to me seems like they was a little nervous about being the first team.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So kudos to Connecticut for feeling like, you know what I mean, safety comes first. I know that's a huge decision. They're a big school. They're not one of those great, huge schools.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an economic impact that's going to like affect them for years. But I always would like to err on the side of caution and safety. And if they feel as if like they want to protect their players and their staff and just cancel the season, I'm not going to criticize them
No.
for feeling like that comes first. And I
Mhm.
really do think it gets the ball rolling for other
Yeah.
programs to feel the same way and to follow suit. This is probably the
Completely.
tip of the iceberg
Yeah.
when it comes to college sports. So
For sure. For
we'll
sure.
most definitely give y'all a heads up and give y'all more headlines on this as it comes in.
Mhm.
But this is breaking news for us,
Yeah.
and
This is
we're going to break it to you.
Yeah.
The Connecticut Huskies football program has canceled their fall NFL 2020 season, and yeah,
They will be playing, and we got Paul Feinbaum. We're gonna hear his take on it.
I always love Paul Tate.
Hear what Paul has to
Let's see what
say.
Paul has to say about it.
So let's get Paul's feedback on this.
Season is over before it could get started, with a schedule that was already in shambles after several canceled games and the ongoing concerns related to coronavirus being transferred through close contact. UConn officially canceled its football season today. It was set to be the first season for the Huskies as an independent program. On that note, we bring in our guy, the mouth of the South, Paul Feinbaum. Paul, thank you so much for being with us, and a lot to get into here. Obviously, this one's personal for me, UConn alum, and I'm a season ticket holder, men's and women's basketball and football. And clearly, there's no season. So I want you to touch on that, and then I want to get into some of the other safety protocols going around with the other conferences. What was your reaction when you heard that?
It's interesting, Molly. You hear about every other conference playing because of financial reasons. I think UConn canceled because of financial reasons. They are in debt right now. They're in the transfer of leagues, as you well know. Their schedule had been decimated, and I think they made the right call, just saying it's not worth it. We're going to lose more money. We don't really want to invest in this season because it's going to be a lost cause anyway. But the bigger story in college football is, will middle of the pack schools follow them? I think they will. And then you have a couple of other things happening. You have the Big Ten announcing their schedule today on Labor Day weekend. So think about this for a second. The Big 12 is going to start on August 28th. The next week, the Big Ten will start, as will the ACC. And then you go to the end of the month of September 26th when the Pac-12 and the SEC. So anyone who doesn't believe that college football is a royal mess, think about the fact that the college football season will open over a 5-week stretch. And the people at the end, I believe, are the smartest. Their fans may not be happy about this, but Molly, I think at the back end, conferences want to see what happens at the front end. Meaning, if those week 0 games don't go well, if when the Big Ten starts, you start seeing outbreaks and you have to shut programs down temporarily, you may see the whole thing collapse. And there's one more thing here. Safety. There was a story coming out of Colorado yesterday with a couple of players told a newspaper out there that the Colorado State coaches were discouraging them from being honest about testing positive for COVID. There were reports that their contact tracing was being finagled, that they were not social distancing. Same thing came out of the player from Virginia Tech, which I discussed with you guys on Monday, that he complained that it wasn't safe. And for all the hot air that college administrators want to say that safety is the first issue, there are some cracks out there, and I don't think this is getting enough attention.
That's egregious and shameful, Max.
And probably illegal. Sounds like.
Well, go ahead and stop there with Feinbaum. But I think that also was a good point. Is the testing, the accuracy of the testing. Right. And I think us being SEC fans, with the Tide, I think Paul has a great point. It is best for us to wait and see what the other teams, what happens.
Yeah, it's a great point. Can't argue with Paul on that. Wait until the end of the month to start and you watch what other teams do. I also think it's very scary that players are being encouraged to lie about tests in hopes that the football season can go. Listen, the players want to play. That's what they do. That's what they do. They play. So they would love to go out there and play Saturday, Sunday, Monday through Thursday. They will play if you let them play. But we are in the middle of a pandemic, and there is something way bigger than ourselves that's going on right now.
Yeah.
So I think we all just need to err on precaution and just look at what the numbers say, look at what the signs say, and then deal with it accordingly. If it's safe to play, the players gonna play. But if they have positive tests and social distancing is not taking place, then they most definitely need to be addressed.
Yeah, for sure. Because the last thing we want is for this to affect people in a negative way. People get hurt, and
Exactly.
we just don't know enough about this
Exactly.
this virus to really kind of play around with it like that.
So true.
So yeah, I think some interesting things are going to be coming out of the college football world in the coming weeks, especially with September kind of approaching us pretty fast. All right, let's move sports. Let's talk about the NBA and what's going on over in Disney World.
Man, the NBA is wrapping up. This is like the last week of the seeding games. They're getting ready to go through this week, which will lead them into the playoffs of next week. And they are opening up what seeds and who will be placed at what positions. Right now, the Los Angeles Lakers are the number one seed in the West, and the Milwaukee Bucks is the number one seed in the East. Some of the things that's coming out of this NBA seeding season right now is that the Toronto Raptors are most definitely a real team to deal with. So, like, I kind of wrote them off because Kawhi Leonard wasn't there anymore, but they are most definitely gelling at the right time.
And it's a winner.
I would most definitely tell people to watch out for the Toronto Raptors. They are most definitely looking like a team to be reckoned with. It's just all wide open. The West is wide open. The Clippers look good. The Nuggets are like gelling at the right time. And I see the Trailblazers are coming up on the Grizzlies. There's no home court advantage, people. We're playing in the bubble, so there won't be any stands. There won't be any people in the stands cheering. It's just you versus the other team. So I'm sure there will be upsets along this playoff. This is going to end up being a very exciting playoff. Some people feel like it should be an asterisk, attached to the winner of the season.
It's a different season than usual.
Fast, and I get that, but it still doesn't mean that the excitement won't be there.
No.
So check out the NBA this week and go Lakers.
Not biased. Well, I think too, even though the teams haven't been able to play their normal schedule and and their home and away games and all that, I think a team that's able to adapt to these changes and kind of go head to head with other teams and still perform at their best quality through all this deserves to have that championship.
I agree. It's something to be said for a team that was prepared, a team that was able to adapt, and a team that was focused in the midst of all this going on, and still go throughout a playoff and win a championship this season. So I salute whoever is able to do that by the end of the season.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Speaking of games, we have a few games coming on tonight. We get the Giants versus the Astros at 8. And then you can flip over and between breaks and watch the Lakers and the Nuggets play at 8 as well.
It's gonna be a great game. Let's look for Anthony Davis to rebound. He's had a couple trash games for my Lakers in the last couple games, but I'm sure he's gonna rebound tonight and put up 25 to 30 points and get a Lakers W. We need one. Let's go Lakers.
We know who's going to be watching it, right? We also got Miami versus the Pacers at 7.
The Pacers is coming off a big win. Warren is most definitely been like the player of the bubble. He's averaging like 27 points right now. He's a very big surprise player. I think the Phoenix Suns traded him for cash considerations, and now he's leading the bubble with points scored. And he has been looking like a phenomenal player. He has most definitely taken the quarantine time to work on his game. So I salute Warren. He has been a monster in the bubble so far.
Nice. One to watch out for sure. And then also, do you want to show some love to the women in the NBA?
I do. My WNBA ladies We have Seattle. Is Seattle playing tonight?
Yeah, they're playing against Chicago, and that's going to be at 8 o'clock as
Listen,
well.
if you haven't watched a WNBA game, watch Seattle. Seattle is an incredible team. I love them. But yeah,
Sue Bird out there doing big things.
Sue Bird is. I think Sue Bird could go to the NBA
I agree.
and make threes and that mid-range jumper she has. Sue Bird is just an all-around competitor. I love her.
Yeah, definitely want to watch out for her tonight in that game. And then let's wrap this segment up with a On This Day. So, Joseph, did you know that on this day, August 10th, in 1984, the Dream Team won gold at the Olympics in LA?
I did not know
Did you know?
I did not
The
know
more
that.
you know.
Hey, they say the more you know, the better you are. So I'm a better person today because my girl Masie with this fact. But 1984, I was like, I don't know, 3 years old at this time. I was a baby. But that was Michael Jordan's first gold medal though. Like, you know what I mean? I think Patrick Ewing was the center on that team, but Michael Jordan was like just getting into the NBA for real. I think it was his first gold medal and his first real big accomplishment in the NBA. We all know Michael Jordan as the person who is, everybody want to be like Mike and turned out to be the greatest basketball player of all time. But you have to start somewhere, and the man got to the NBA and got a gold medal in his first Olympics. So salute to Michael Jordan, salute to Patrick Ewing and everybody on that team. And that was today in sports. That was good.
Yeah. So we got our, I think we hit pretty much all of our main topics today.
We will see you guys, next week?
Next week we're going to have another little segment. Continue to watch all of our YouTube channel videos. If there's something that you want us to talk about, we will talk about, and just kind of stay up to date with what's going on out there. Like I said, I think with the college football season, everything is just so up in the air that we're definitely going to have breaking news every day, I feel like, coming from that. Who knows what's going to happen.
I think it's a great point. Continue to watch our videos. Watch the news. Stay safe. Do not get discouraged. Sports Talk, Joe and May Sports Talk, we will be here next week to give you the news and to give you the headlines and the updates. I think that, one of the things that I want you all to take away from this conversation is that safety is important, and we're going to make sure that we do err on the side of caution when it comes to our health. Okay? College football is very near and dear to our heart. We love college football in the city. We love it. But we want to make sure our players are safe and make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to do to be able to, live and see college football from years to come. So.
Yes, for sure. It's all about safety and us staying safe here. That's why it's important to wear your mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing when possible. Try to follow all CDC guidelines. Got to throw that in there. I feel like get anybody's attention. Got to throw in there. Following safe practices and making sure that you are keeping yourself safe and others safe, so we can get over this virus and hopefully somehow get back to normal as soon as possible, whatever that normal might look like. But I think, everyone should be very proud of themselves for adapting to a lot of the different changes that we've had to face.
I do too.
I've seen a lot of people coming together.
So I have a question for you. What is the biggest change so far, that you feel that you had to make and adjust since the COVID outbreak?
Probably wearing the mask. And my biggest change probably is not hugging people.
Really?
And social, that's hard. I never realized how much you interact with people by, greeting and hugging and all that, so that's hard. What about you?
I would say the same. I'm a huge hugger. I feel like especially when, you know someone and you haven't seen them in a while, it's just like an instinctive thing to hug them and let them know that you've been thinking about them and that you miss them and that, you cherish their company. And so
I think it's a Southern thing too.
It is. I'm sure
Southerners, we struggle with not being all up in people's face.
I know, right? It's been a struggle. I want to hug you now because it was a great show.
Thank you. I know it was great.
But no hugs. Social distance.
Stay social distance. Stay safe out there. Thank you guys so much for checking out our video. Like I said, if there's anything else you want to see, anything you want to talk about, anything you don't agree with, you think,
my email is to
Just comment on the video.
right, comment on the video and let us know, is there anything that you want us to talk about, anything that you want us to reach. We have really been enjoying these virtual day halves with you guys, and there will be more to come. Sports is near dear to all of our hearts, and so that's why we felt like it was very important for us to do a sports segment, and this is going to continue. I can't wait to talk about what's coming up next. We got the NBA playoffs next week, and so I'm sure we'll be talking about that. So just continue to watch the videos and
Stay tuned.
stay tuned.
All right.
Stay safe, guys.
Stay safe. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.